Hi and welcome back. This video is going to be a opening of a bunch of different green lights. Here in the beginning, this first part here, I'm going to begin with a series. It's called Series 2 Vintage Ad Cars. And I'm just going to open all this series up. I have two sets of these. Ones I'll keep in the package and one I'll open. Because I really like this set. The advertisement and the packaging is really cool. I'm not a huge packaging fan, but I like the gimmick they got going on with these. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up the 1986 Chevy Caprice Burrowham. I'm going to butcher that. All craziness there with that name. I'm going to butcher it though for sure. Get it up out the package. Oh, this is some really good detail the Greenlight's done with this. Really good detail. Anyways, this is a 1986 Chevy Caprice Classic Burrowham. They've left out the Classic, probably because it's too big to fit across the packaging. These came with a vinyl top. Really, really nice. Caprice Classics were really big in the 80s, along with the Impala. They made an Impala in this specific look also. They're almost identical except for the name and a few minor things. This Burrowham sedan was a four-door. It came with a 5.0 V8. It had a automatic four-speed transmission, and it's a really, really sharp looking car. I won't say that it's exactly a hot rod or anything, but these were very, very nice cars. They got like a 10-second somewhere in there. It accelerated. I believe it was from 0 to 60 like in 10.8 seconds, somewhere in there. Some made 11.8 second quarter miles or 17.8 second. It just depends, but they weren't really, really, really fast. What I was trying to say is actually it goes from 0 to 60 in 10.8 seconds, and it goes from 0 to 100 kilometers in 11.5 seconds, and it ran the quarter mile stock in 17.8 seconds, which is pretty slow. But anyways, I'm gonna get around to our next victim here. It is the 1970 Chevy Monte Carlo. Probably recognize this if you've seen Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, which I'm waiting for Greenlight to do that car, the one the kid drove through the house. This is pretty much the car from the movie. It's really, really awesome. They done really, really awesome with the details on this. Looks really sharp. Really, really sharp. This particular car here is in green. It's a hard top. It's a G-body platform. So overall, it's pretty nice. They did really good with the detail. Look at this Jeep Golden Eagle. This thing is awesome. Freaking awesome. Awesome, yes. Looks really nice. Gonna get it up out the package. I'm not too familiar with this. I just know that Greenlight did really good with this. I like the detail on the rims or the wheels, whichever you want to call it. Looks amazing. Really amazing. This thing came with a, I believe it was a total loss 304. I want to say. Got me there. I do really well with a lot of things. But it offered a 304 cubic inch V8 and a big Golden Eagle on the hood. This was kind of common throughout the 70s. This Golden Eagle was, but it's a nice representation Greenlight did with this. I think they did really, really good with it. It's basically a CJ platform, CJ7, I should say. Yeah, it's a CJ7. One of these recently sold. I forgot at what auction I was actually there. It sold for $18,000, but the thing was almost in mint condition. It was like almost a gray, smoky gray color, but I was taken back. I was like, oh my god. This is a new tooling by Greenlight. This is the 1953 Studebaker. This is an awesome car. They also put this in their home improvement Hollywood series. This is just an all-around awesome sauce to have in your collection. I can't believe they did it, but either way, it's awesome. There are actually two different types of Studebakers there. There is the Commander, and then I think one is. There's probably more than one, but there's one that's called a Starlight. It's There's a Champion also. I think that one was in 1952. The Champion Starlight Coupe, and then there's the earlier model, the Business Coupe, was from 1947. The 52 Commander Starliner. It was a hardtop. Looks kind of similar to this, but there is some differences going on. And then, of course, the 47 Commander was a 5-passenger coupe, renamed the Starlight in was it 49, I believe. A little bit mixed up here, but I know like 90% of what I said is fact. It probably messed up on the date on the 49. No, it wasn't. It was in 1949. It was renamed the Commander. Some of them came in convertible, but the 1953 Starline Coupe was a very popular Studebaker model, and I think Greenlight did exceptionally well with it. Here is a 1968 Ford Club wagon. This thing is just a massive, massive chunk of metal. Greenlight really sells you this gigantic piece of metal here with this one. That it's actually well done. It's well done. It's almost like the econo vans of today, just shrunken down. But I like this whole series. And here we have the 1967 Mercury Cougar. This one, I just had noticed it on the advertisement itself. There's something special about this. This is the Dan Gurney. And I figured I would add some more Greenlight to this because maybe some people haven't noticed it. But this is the Dan Gurney edition. And some people may not know who he is. Some people may have not noticed it. I'm not quite sure if this is a legit vehicle, the Dan Gurney, but I think actually it is. It was. I think this was an answer to Shelby, the Shelby Cobra. Yeah, it was. It was called the Dan Gurney Special. This is a legit deal right here, guys. So I'll be showing you Dan Gurney, I guess, along with this video, because I have other Greenlights I have in open, but this particular model came with his signature on it, Dan Gurney, and it came with a little Cougar on it. It was a pretty awesome. Actually, it was a 289 cubic inch V8 going on in this thing. It had a really sport package going on with it. Some cat-like looks and cat-like reflexes. And I know I take some pauses, but I was trying to think. I think this one, the Dan Gurney, I know this may have been the one that it was a 1967. I think it sold at the Barrett-Jackson auction. I think it was around 11,000. This car sold for it. Not, I don't think this particular model. No, this particular car. No, but and no, I'm not talking about the Greenlight car. I'm talking about the actual car, because the one that sold at Barrett-Jackson, I think it was a year younger. But I think from 67 to 68, he was doing that. But anyways, I'll move on. I was trying to show y'all right there. See where it says Cougar or whatever? Right there on the little fine thing is supposed to be his signature. And this was Dan Gurney, if you don't know who he is. He was basically a race car driver, I guess you could say. Those sorts. He was he built his own cars, and I was just taken back by this. I love Plymouths, but this is one of his examples of his cars. He had some pretty awesome cars. I'm not gonna sit in line and say I know a whole lot about Dan Gurney. I do not. This is way before my time. But from the looks of his cars, I actually purchased this based on the look. It looks awesome. He supposedly designed his own race cars, and he has some awesome details. If this is in fact an accurate representation, which it probably is, knowing Greenlight. But he won the 24-hour of Le Mans with AJ Foyt in 1967. So this guy, he's won quite a bit of stuff. He owned All American Racers. Not sure what Gurney Flap ever was. And at the 1968 German Grand Prix, he became the first driver to ever use a full face helmet in the Grand Prix. Well, I guess that's quite a big deal, because now they use full face helmets. But he's done quite a bit of stuff. This guy is pretty actually remarkable. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the reason he's familiar to me is because he played in the movie called Cannonball Run. And that was before my time also, but I actually watched it. It was actually pretty funny. But anyways, getting into the detail of this, like the bumper sticker on it, it says Dan Gurney for president. There's a lot of detail going on this car. The racing badges, the numbers, the whole 9 yards. This thing is just loaded with detail. And I'm just glad to have it in my collection. I got this one, and then the other guy. I'm going to pull that out here in a second and open it up too. I think it's the number 42 car. Where are you at? Where are you at? But anyways, let's get this hood open. Oh yeah, they got some good detail going on under the hood too. I love the way that metallic paint just sparkles. Awesome. This is one awesome CUDA. Really, really cool. Now, here it is, number 42. Sweet Savage, and one Savage CUDA. Yeah, I'm just gonna bust these out. I wasn't even gonna open them, but because on the Mercury Cougar, the vintage ad cars, I happen to see that Dan Gurney, and I'm going, isn't that the guy from the movie Cannonball Run? And see, it never dawned on me that dude was a professional race car driver or anything like that. I thought he was just the guy from the movie. It was a very popular 70s movies. I'm glad they haven't remade it and just killed it with their social justice warriorism. But anyways, this is a Sweet Savage. Greenlight's done really well with a lot of these vehicles and series and details. Their CUDAs, their Plymouths, and their Dodge, they do really well with. Of course, they do well with a lot of stuff, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not humongous into collecting Greenlight, but I do collect a lot of movie cars and cars I find interesting, and this falls in the category. Just like their drag series, their drag strip, was it a drag strip with the 5.0s? And of course, I took one look at these and said, wow, those are awesome. Because I'm a big Mopar fan. But I really ecstatic to actually have these in my collection. I wasn't going to open them yet. But when I took one look at that vintage ad series, I was like, oh, might as well just open them and add it to the video. Yeah, no. That looks awesome. And here I got that Hot Pursuit. I got that for free. I get so many points for at my job for what I do, and I get a free Greenlight car. I've gotten the 118 scale Greenlight. Uh, Last of the V8s. I got that one for free. I got that Hot Pursuit. But anyways, here's some Walking Dead and The Matrix. Since I was opening up the Dan Gurney's, these were in the same box. Ace Ventura. It's all older stuff. I'm sure a lot of people have seen them. Maybe a lot of people haven't. I don't know. Nonetheless, I decided to whoop them out. I'm gonna get them open and throw them up in there. A lot of this stuff I acquired actually free. My job, I get so many points, and some months they give us like double points, and you have like $100 you can use in the store. And these things fetch about a $5-6 price tag. So sometimes I'm lucky and I'm able to get several of the ones I'm looking for. As a matter of fact, my Hot Wheels 18 van, Knight Rider, and I'm talking like the 2000 and like the very first Hot Wheels entertainment set that came out. That's how I acquired them. Also, was for free like that. But it's nice to be able to acquire some things, especially for free. You can't top that, guys. But here's the AMC Walking Dead Crown Vic, and I would really love, and I'm gonna repeat this again. A Crown Vic is coming out here. It's an LX. It's coming out pretty soon. It's like a off-white or cream color. And this Hot Pursuit, this is I don't know how old this is, but this is actually recent for me because I got this like 3 weeks ago. The whole pegs, all the pegs were just dogpiled with that station wagon. It's a Caprice. I said free. Why not take it? I think they're gonna stop selling Greenlight because it's like a seasonal thing with them. You'll find them on the pegs during the winter, which is very odd. And then the summer hits, they seem to take them off. I don't know why. But whatever the case is, I got it. Haha. A step up for my collection. This is a pretty awesome looking wagon. NYPD. Looks pretty cool. It's got a lot of detail. A lot of detail. Just let y'all get a glimpse at it. A funny thing, I was up in New York. They actually drive Priuses. Where was I? In the Bronx? Yeah, I was in the Bronx. And I just happened to look over to my left, and there was a Prius done up in this type of deco. It was white with the NYPD on the door and stuff. And I was like, what? You gotta be kidding me. They even have smart cars there in New York. And this is for the people that's never been to New York. They have this little electric, it's just called a smart car. I don't have one of those in this size where I'd show you, but you can Google them. They're just tiny little cars. You could probably just pick them up and flip them over by yourself. And they got NYPD deco all over them. I was like, what? And they were literally, then some people may try to say, oh, those are for parking and violations. No, they actually were chasing somebody. They had them pulled over. Of course, if you've been to New York, you know if you try to run, you ain't getting far in traffic at all. Traffic barely moves. This is the 2001 Ford Crown Victoria from The Walking Dead. That's pretty cool. Actually, see how they faded out the front wheel. It's got all the gear on the top. They even added made it dirty. So that's pretty cool. See how they faded out the back. Dual tailpipes. They got all their zombie gear. They even got like different hubcaps, even though they're both shiny. They're just different. The mud on the front of the windshield where the wipers try to wipe them off. They went pretty out on the detail on this. I'm pretty surprised. It's a ton of detail going on this car. It's really well done. Really, really well done. They tried to add like a distressed look to it on the rear panels going down the side doors. They just went all out on this thing. I hadn't really paid attention to it that much because it was in the package. I was like, Walking Dead, who doesn't love that series? But I had is it the Mustang? I'm not got around to opening it yet. Another one I like is the Bewitched. But there you can see the gear strapped down, give you a close up of the wheels. They've done really well with this. Yeah. Awesome saws. Yeah. Back windshield, whole 9 yards. Here, I can't get over this. This car, they did such a great detail job on this car. It almost looks real. I actually bought one of these when I was a teenager for $500 at a house I was working on, and I've since sold it. Yeah, but nonetheless, it was running. It wasn't rust bucketed out. It was very well taken care of, and the doors open. They call them suicide doors. They are actually facing each other. When you open them, you have access to the whole car through both doors. But this thing looks spot on in detail. It looks identical, and they've done such a good job with this. It looks very, very realistic. Lincoln Continental from the movie The Matrix. Very, very good. When I seen that, I was like, oh man, sorry guys. I'm kind of hogging up the view here. I picked it up because I was checking it out. I'm like, wow, this thing is just like really, really spot on. But I'm going to go ahead and get around to opening up the Ace Ventura. In the beginning of this, we seen the 70 Monte Carlo, and here they did the 72. It's not that much of a dramatic change in the 70 to the 72, but nonetheless, let's get out the package. This is from the movie Ace Ventura. But Pet Detective. This is the one where they bust up his front windshield. They shoot the back windshield out of his car. They shoot up the front of his car. You can see the bullet holes or whatever it's supposed to be going across the hood, hitting the front windshield. This front windshield is just busted up, just like it was in the movie. He was actually sticking his head out the driver window to see where he was going, because the front windshield was really busted up. He couldn't see anything from being shot at. And here we have a side view of the car. It's got some dents and stuff going on. The rear windshield is gone. There's no windshield on this. Just flat out gone, guys. Yellow look on the interior detail. Black steering wheel. The beige interior. They went all out on this with the detail. It's almost like whoever does these, they just have fun making the vehicle or something. I don't know. They're pretty creative. But nonetheless, I collect movie cars, and I did watch the movie. I had a Jeep around here somewhere. Looks like a zebra. But this is pretty cool. I'm going to get this next one out. I am not familiar with this next one that I'm about to pull out at all. But it came with the Monte Carlo. It was hanging there on the peg, so I jerked it up. Didn't know what it was. So I got this. Apparently it's from some show where they make it. Now this I'm very familiar with. This is Rick Hunter. It is a Dodge Monaco. Just like in the TV series American Me. American Hero. There's a yellow one. A lot of people are not familiar with that one either. An alien came down, gives the guy a suit, and he winds up becoming sort of like a Superman, but it's very comical. And this one, this Dodge Monaco, I guess they turned it green. Monocles were very popular in the 70s, along with the Fury vehicle. Also, was a very used police type of vehicle. The cops use these a lot. And this is from a detective show. He starred with another. It was him and a female. I can't remember her name. I just remember him. Carried a big old revolver. But anyway, it was a pretty good sitcom. It was a TV show. And this is somebody, I don't know. I'm not that familiar with it, but supposedly they spent a long time designing this thing or something. It's still, nonetheless, it looks cool. I'm not gonna knock it. It's got a shovel on the side. There you go. Nice little scenery on the back tailgate. It's actually kind of crazy looking. This thing looks like it would be a monster truck, something crushing cars or something. But nonetheless, this would be a good for like the Walking Dead series. Zombie type of vehicle to fight the zombies in. And here, this is the Mr. Bardall. This one's fairly newer than the rest. They've put out quite a few of these Mr. Bardalls in yellow and like brownish colors. I got this one not because so much I like the color, but I happened to notice the logo that says Hooker. And the logo on this is for the Hooker headers. This is a Camaro, by the way, but the Hooker header logo on this looks just like the t-shirts from Hooker, Oklahoma. When you visit Hooker, Oklahoma, their t-shirt will have a heart on it like that, and the Hooker logo looks identical. So I was like, I gotta get this and add it to my collection. Whoa, allergy season. Sorry about that, guys. But anyways, they did pretty good on this. The silver, it almost looks like the Zamax sort of, with the pink outline and stuff with the blue. It looks kind of bizarre, actually, but the detail's good. But Greenlight does do good with their detail. They do really good with the detail. But see the Hooker there with the heart for the Hooker headers? That's identical to the Hooker Oklahoma t-shirt logo also. Oh my lord. Just keep sneezing, guys. No, it's not what you think. I'm good. But it's fairly well. I got a t-shirt from there. It says I heart Hooker. But it's a little town in Oklahoma off Highway 54. But nonetheless, back to what this is actually, a 1967 Chevy. Totally awesome. It's got the good detail under the hood. Oh my lord. It's a horrible time to be doing this in the middle of a video. But anyways, who cares? They've done really good detail on this. Tail lights. Bill Hirschner. I think that's the guy that invented the Holly headers. The Hooker headers. No, he invented Hooker headers, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, nonetheless, they put all the stars there on the door. 3, 7, yeah. If you look on the door where you open the door, those little white dots, they're actually white stars. Husky logo, whole 9 yards. I think they did really good with the design on this. Looks outstanding. Anyways, that's the show. Thanks for stopping by, guys. And I'll catch you guys on the next episode. See ya.